Catherine. Happy Good Friday.
January, one of the fastest January I've ever seen.
So to all the people thinking January was going to be 62. Finally, it's the 26th of January 2026. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the very first edition of the conversation this week. Of course, it's Monday. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning and welcome to the conversation. I am Joy Olu.
Good morning, everyone. I am Adebinkwe Omotayo, and it's nice to have you back, Abimbola. And Joy.
In fact,
and Joy, both of you.
Traffic showed Joy on Friday.
Do you know that there was traffic again today?
I heard so. Ijoma called this morning to say she was, and I'm wondering what exactly is going on that road.
Reckless driving.
Yeah, with reckless driving. I think sometimes we will continue to see that we are the problems of ourselves. Once there's an impediment, everybody starts behaving like they are the only people that have something to do. And then you start facing traffic. In fact, that Friday was hellish. It was a very it was one day that, you know, it's a whole lot of things were delayed. So many planned out things, you know, just went south. It took hours for people to get from point A to point B, but then I don't know. We need to do better as a people, and sometimes I think our enforcement officers also need to do better. Honestly, I don't know. How was your weekend?
My weekend was nice. I did school runs. I did school runs back and forth. Yes. Yeah, aside that, it was quiet. It was okay.
Joy?
My weekend, I stayed at home after what I went through on Friday.
after Friday's wahala, you had to just stay at home.
I'm talking about Friday. My father has corrected me. You know, on Friday, I said something here that, I thought I was a princess because of my name, Adebimpe.
That you thought you were what?
I thought I was a princess when I was much younger. So it was when I grew up, I found out that it was just a name. So my dad has corrected it.
That you're actually a princess.
That we are, yes, we have blue blood.
Okay.
There's usually
There's
usually a link somewhere, although some people, you know, will just probably just, you know, just pick up the names and all of that, but usually the Ade, I mean, it signifies the crown, but not in all cases. So thank you, Grandpa Adimu, for doing the needful. My weekend, I'm not sure I stepped out of my house Saturday, Sunday. So it wasn't such a bad weekend for me. Right, let's start the show. So you said something?
No.
Did you say something?
No.
Oh, okay. So let's start the program this morning by taking our news point, and I'll start on the side of the table. Baba is going again. Tinubu departs Nigeria for state visit to Turkey. President Bola Tinubu is set to depart Abuja on Monday, January 26th, for a state visit to the Republic of Turkey. The presidency has announced. This was disclosed to Abayo Ononuga, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy. The visit aims to strengthen the long-standing cordial relations between Nigeria and Turkey while exploring new areas of cooperation in security, education, social development, innovation, and aviation. The trip follows Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's official visit to Nigeria in October 2021. During President Tinubu's visit, both nations are expected to engage in strategic, political, and diplomatic discussions focusing on shared interests in finance, communication, trade, and investment. The agenda will include high-level meetings between officials of both countries, as well as the signing of memoranda of understanding covering scientific research, energy, technical cooperation, media and communications, military collaborations, and protocol matters. A business forum will also bring together investors from Nigeria and Turkey to explore opportunities for bilateral trade and investment. President Tinubu is expected to return to Nigeria at the conclusion of the visit. We do not know when the visit will be concluded. I think they just played a smart one there, so that it is when we see the president back in the country
Then you know
that
the trip
discussions
has ended.
that the visit has ended. That ended. But I think, of all the areas mentioned, I think for me would also say how we can explore security issues, strengthening collaborations, because we need all the help at the moment when it comes to security matters. The reports day and night that we hear of kidnaps going on, banditry and issues like that, even though sometimes when you see it, you ask yourself again, are we sure that these things are truly going on or they're truly happening? But then we need all the attention that we can get. We need all the collaboration, all the help we can get to strengthen our efforts towards ending insecurity in Nigeria. So, as you depart the country, we wish you the very best. I deliberately left out the retinue of the people going with the president on this particular trip. So, we wish Mr. President and his entourage well, and we do hope that they will return to the country safe and sound.
How do you say it in Yoruba? Elori.
Ebori. You want to complete it? Okay.
This joy will not cease to amuse me.
There's another thing behind it, though, but don't worry.
I don't know this. I didn't know there was something behind it.
Oh, okay. Let's leave that one.
Please, what is it? Remind me.
I'll tell you afterwards.
But is that not a good, is that like a farewell?
Ebori.
Yes,
it is.
But there's a finishing line. Yes. Let's
I need
take
to learn that.
All right, let's take your story. Who's ready?
Okay, party defection. Governor Yusuf dumps NMPP for APC, raises concern in Kano. The People's Democratic Party, African Democratic Congress, and Labour Party have strongly criticized the All Progressives Congress following the defection of the Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf from the new Nigeria People's Party to the ruling party, insisting that the development will not alter the political reality ahead of the 2027 general elections. Reacting to the governor's decision to join the APC, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Inni Emel Bong, and his ADC counterpart, Bolaji Abdullahi, said in separate interviews that the defection reflects moral failure rather than political strength, stressing that moves driven by self-interest will not translate into votes for the ruling party. Also, the interim national chairman of the faction, Senator Nenadi Usman, warned against confusing elite defections with widespread popular support, emphasizing that opposition parties will continue to play a significant role ahead of the upcoming elections. Meanwhile, the APC Director of Publicity, Bala Ibrahim, welcomed the Kano State Governor into the party, describing the defection as a boost for the APC and a validation of its commitment to delivering democracy's dividends to Nigerians. The way this medium wrote this story, that meanwhile, they have welcomed Abba Yusuf to APC. We will hear more about this because that is what Abibola will be discussing later on the show. What? Okay.
Anyway.
The way both of you did.
Because of all the rantings now, is there no freedom of expression, freedom of association,
movement of potting?
Even Saka potted.
Anyways, Joy, let's take your story.
Okay. Alleged coup, military hands over report to Tinubu. The military has submitted to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the report of its investigation into what it tagged indiscipline and breach of service regulations by the 16 detained officers whom reports have alleged were involved in coup plot. Credible security and presidency sources confirmed that the report was submitted to the president after over 2 months of thorough grilling and investigations carried out by the Defense Intelligence Agency. October last year, according to reports, the officers ranging from the rank of captain to brigadier general were arrested and detained by the DIA for attempting to overthrow President Tinubu's government. The The defense headquarters and the presidency had at that time denied that there was a coup attempt, despite widespread reports linking it to the cancellation of the October 1 Independence Day parade by President Tinubu. According to reports again, okay, it's a long read, but the 16 individuals involved have been detained. And if you'd like to, because when you go through this report here, it also reveals their identities, and if you need further information about who these men are, you can read it up in any of the dailies to get more information about this.
I mean, after 2.5 months of dilly-dallying
3 months
over whether or not this really happened. Remember, this actually, the news broke sometime in October, during the October 1st independence preceding that event. And you know, at some point in time, the army did say, all right, there could be something here, but they also needed to do their due diligence. They also needed to be sure, you know, they were onto the right people, and eventually they have again confirmed that there was indeed an attempted coup. Remember also at that time a former governor was also being accused
from the South,
of you know, sponsoring or being involved in this particular case. But now that you know the report is before Mr. President, we might not also hear much about it for now, since Mr. President is also jetting out of the country today. But I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a file. You can carry the file. you can walk while on the plane.
Exactly.
Or you know, when he lands where he's going to. But perhaps at the end of the day, we will know where this particular situation will leave us. But like many will say, an unstable democracy is still better than the military taking over, depending, of course, on which side of the table you are. But most likely, you know, they'll always say that it's best to at least hear yourselves in a democracy rather than have, you know, the military take over. And usually when things like this happen, they always talk about, you know, bad governance, corruption. But the question is, whenever they come, are they any better?
Are they any better? Exactly.
Are they any better? Well, let's see where this would end at the end of the day. Well, those are the 3 stories we're tracking for you on our news points this morning. I'm going to allow Joy to take us through the hashtag for today. Joy, you opened your eyes.
Okay.
Of course, it's police interception. Joy, take us through.
Police recover 40 bags of explosives. Arrest driver in Saki as investigation continues. Is that? Am I reading the right thing? Okay. Says that Oyo State Police recovered 40 bags of concealed explosives and arrested a truck driver. The explosives were hidden in a DAF truck with registration number Ogun SGM 765XB, intercepted on January 24 at 11:10 p.m. The driver claimed he was transporting the explosives from Ibadan to Chikanda, Kwara State. I think that's basically it for now. There are no more details.
Well, Shaki, of course, Shaki is a border town between Oyo and Kwara State. And again, it talks about how sometimes these things can, again, sometimes we blame the police, you know, for being high-handed. But sometimes we also see that their high-handedness can also, you know, bring positive results. Imagine, just imagine if the police had not intercepted these particular explosives. Where were they going to? What sinister move were they planning? Or this driver, was it just, you know, was it just a courier? Was he involved in how these things will be used?
He will explain now.
Well, again, sometimes some people just fall prey to certain things. Maybe it's the money of him conveying this to the next place that's now that's you know, lured him into getting involved in this particular thing.
Even if it's like that, he would also have to call out whoever contacted him to do the job.
I hope he will, because sometimes again when these things happen, the kind of things that go on I don't know. But we just hope
That's
it will yield positive results.
I was going to say inshallah.
Yes, so
Well,
we use prayer to
inshallah,
follow
no
it
need.
up.
Also, over the weekend, I got this news report about some drug peddlers who injured and assaulted customs officials who were trying to stop them.
They're always doing that, especially the smugglers.
The smugglers.
Yeah, and that's why the smugglers and the customs, they clash a lot. And oftentimes they either injure or kill custom officers because of the kind of weapons that they also have. This happens a lot around the Ijiroko.
Ijiroko.
Isn't people they call firework?
Yes,
Firewo.
now, the smugglers.
They're the
You know,
ones.
so I just hope that, we'll continue to protect the lives and of our officers, because sometimes the kind of risk that they go through, it's usually huge. But then let's just continue to. Sometimes the way these guys are, the boldness with which they operate, it's unimaginable, and it just means that sometimes they also, now this is just me speaking, and sometimes I think they have people who collude with them. They have insiders, yes, who also tell them, you know what, don't worry, we're behind you, because if not, what is it that would give you that boldness?
Effrontery, yeah.
So just want to do certain things if you do not have people who are actually backing you up.
So it's rather unfortunate, this happens all the time, especially at our border areas. I just, like you said, Abimbola, God will continue to protect these officials, whether the police, whether the customs, all immigration, they're all at the border, trying to protect the country.
Yes, that's the much your take on this segment of the program.
You will not congratulate me.
Yeah.
Man, you won
Because
yesterday's
Man U won.
Yes.
Because Man U won Arsenal. Okay,
Yes.
they've been congratulations.
Thank you.
Sorry.
You were the one that said that. That wasn't part of what I asked.
That's the only way it
That
can be
wasn't
sweet.
what I asked you.
That's the only way it
That
can
wasn't
be
what I
sweet.
asked you to say.
Congratulations to the
Congratulate me.
winners.
I don't know about
And to those that they
Bature
did
receiving
sorry.
sorry. And Baba Digutu, sorry.
And of course, All Blues 3-1 is not easy.
What do you want?
JP is with his hands.
JP dancing.
What do you have to say about Man U recently?
I'm impressed.
You are coming up.
Yes, we are.
You are
We are.
coming up. You are
We
coming
are.
up.
Yeah, I just want to advise. Don't allow it to enter your head.
And we have a new coach.
We'll say you are doing well when you are doing well. Don't
And we have
worry.
a new coach.
Ateta is not finding it easy at the moment.
Bature said this morning that he's going. He will soon go.
Igba mélòó? How many times? Is it not EPL?
He's going. He's
They are
going.
still leaving him. Anyway, we need to go. Thank you for watching, of course, this side of the table this morning. We'll take a quick break. When we return, part 1 of our conversation will be here. And of course, we're taking a deeper look at the story. Was it Joy or Adebimpe? It was Adebimpe who took that story earlier, talking about the defection of Kano State Governor to the APC from the NNPP, citing, of course, crisis in his party. And of course, many NNPP members are saying, especially the leadership of the party, that they do not know what he's talking about with the crisis. Anyway, we have 2 gentlemen that will be joining the conversation after the short break.